She does this thing. You're getting ready for bed. Toothbrush, sink running, nothing interesting. And she walks in. Doesn't meow, doesn't rub against your legs, just sits in the doorway and watches you. And there's this moment
Welcome
where
to the
you
cozy
look
corner.
back at
Settle
her
in,
in the mirror and you
relax.
think,
Our sleepy
why
friend
are you
here sets
here?
the mood.
And there's
Let's
no
begin.
answer that makes sense in the usual way. She has no reason to be there, no food involved, no warmth, no obvious gain, just you, brushing your teeth and her choosing to witness it. That moment, small enough to forget, but strange enough that you don't, that's what I want to talk about today. I'm Alex, and this is Pet Habits, a space for people who look at their cat doing something inexplicable and think, no, there's something real happening there. I just don't have the language for it yet. That's why we're here. And today, we're going through 13 things your cat has been quietly, patiently waiting for since the day you brought her home. Not dramatic things, not expensive things, but things that, to her nervous system, to her ancient and remarkably wired brain, are the architecture of a good life. And listen, by the time we get to number 10, I want you to remember this moment right here, because what I'm going to tell you about the one thing your cat has been waiting for since her very first day in your home. It has nothing to do with food, nothing to do with toys, and almost nothing to do with what we normally call love. And once I say it, I think something about the way you watch her is going to quietly shift. The first thing is consistent scent. Most people think of home as a visual space. Cats live in a scent-based world. When you brought her home, one of the first things her brain did was begin mapping your smell. The specific chemical signature of your stress, your sleep, your skin before and after a shower. Cats have roughly 200 million scent receptors compared to our 5 million, and they use that information the way we use a face. What she's been waiting for is a home that smells like home, which means smelling like you consistently. Don't deep clean her sleeping spots too often. Leave a worn shirt near her bed. Let her map of you stay stable. The second thing is predictable rhythm. Cats are not spontaneous creatures at their core. They are creatures of pattern, dawn hunters, dusk hunters, midday nappers. What most people miss is that the comfort isn't just in the activity, it's in the expectation of the activity. Feeding her at the same time each day isn't just about hunger, it's about the calm that comes from knowing what comes next. Her nervous system literally regulates around your schedule. Irregular feeding times correlate with elevated cortisol in cats. You being predictable is, to her, the same as being safe. Third, the right kind of eye contact, not prolonged, hard staring. That's a threat display in cat language, and she knows it even if you don't mean it that way. What she's been waiting for is the slow blink. Eyes half closed, soft, unhurried. Ethologists call this an affiliative signal, basically a trust marker. When you slow blink at her and she slow blinks back, something real is happening. That's not anthropomorphism, that's documented cross-species communication. Try it tonight. Look at her, soften your eyes, blink slowly, see what she does. Fourth, vertical space. She wants to be above things. This isn't arrogance, though, maybe a little, and it's biology. In the wild, elevation means safety, surveillance, control. When your cat sits on top of the refrigerator or claims the highest point of the bookshelf, she's doing something her nervous system insists on. A cat without vertical options is a cat whose threat monitoring system never fully rests. Even a single tall cat tree changes the ambient stress level in a home. Fifth, real play, not toy waving, real play. Lex has read a lot of ethology papers on this, and the consensus is clear. Cats don't just want movement, they want the sequence. Stalk, chase, pounce, catch. If you wave a wand, toy randomly, and then stop, something in her is left unfinished, neurologically, literally unfinished. The hunt has no kill. End play sessions by letting her catch the toy. Let her bite it, hold it, bunny kick it. That resolution is what her brain has been waiting for. Sixth, being read, not managed. This one's harder to name, but you felt it. The difference between a cat who comes to you and a cat who tolerates you is usually this. One has been consistently met on her terms. The other has been consistently picked up, repositioned, pet when she didn't ask to be. Cats have what behaviorists call a low threshold for social overstimulation. Their nervous systems flood fast. The thing she's been waiting for is someone who notices the tail flick, the ear rotation, the slight shift away, and stops. Not because they were told to, because they were paying attention. Hey,
The little kitten
if any of
purred
these six are
softly,
making you think about
drifting
your
into a
cat
cozy
differently, that's
dream.
exactly what Pet Habits is built for. This channel exists for people who want to understand what's actually happening inside their cat's world. The real science, the behavioral why, the quiet stuff that changes everything. If that's you, subscribe, hit like, and let's keep going. Seventh, a window with something worth watching. This sounds obvious, but the placement matters. Not a window onto a brick wall, not one that only gets afternoon light. Ideally, a window with birds, movement, small animals, the kind of visual stimulation that activates her predatory nervous system without requiring anything from her. It's enrichment in the truest sense, the world coming to her. Even 30 minutes of window time a day measurably reduces stress behaviors in indoor cats. Eighth, physical contact on her timeline, not yours. When she presses her forehead into your shin at 2 a.m., that's called bunting, a scent exchange behavior, a trust declaration. When she climbs onto your chest while you're sad, she's not sensing your emotion the way a dog might. She's responding to your stillness, your breathing pattern, your changed scent chemistry. What she's waiting for is the permission to choose you repeatedly without being preempted. Ninth, other textures. Cardboard, grass, a rough doormat. Cats have Merkel cells, touch receptors, distributed across their paw pads with extraordinary density. A home that's all smooth hardwood and soft carpet is, in sensory terms, impoverished. Give her different things to walk on, scratch on, press her face against. It matters more than you'd think. 10th, and here it is, the one I mentioned at the top, witnessing, just being present in the same room, not interacting, not initiating, just being there. Studies in cat-human attachment, including work by ethologist John Bradshaw, show that cats form genuine social bonds, not just resource associations, with the people who share their space. What your cat has been waiting for since the first day is not constant engagement. It's reliable presence, the person who is simply, regularly, quietly there. That's the thing that tells her nervous system, this is home, this is safe, I am not alone. You sitting on the couch reading, not looking at her, that might be the most important thing you do all day. 11th, her name said softly. Research published in scientific reports confirmed cats recognize their own names, not as language exactly, but as a sound tied to social significance. Say it gently, not to summon her, just to acknowledge she's there. 12th, the ritual of feeding, not just the food, the sound of the can, the specific bowl, your approach, these are signals her whole body prepares for. The sequence is the comfort as much as the meal itself. And 13th, the one that ties all the others together, being chosen back. Every time she sits near you, every slow blink, every forehead pressed against your hand, she is choosing you. Again, this ancient, self-sufficient animal who could theoretically survive without you keeps choosing to be near you anyway. What she's been waiting for since day one is for you to understand that that choice means something, that it's not just behavior, it's relationship. Quietly, extraordinary, happening in your home every single day. If any of these made you see your cat a little differently, hit like, it tells me this is the kind of thing worth going deeper on, and drop a comment. Which of these does your cat make you feel most? And what's her name? I genuinely want to know. I read every one.